So if you're in the video editing space or in the AI space itself, you might have heard that the capabilities for Claude Code or just AI in general in order to edit videos has actually become pretty decent. And you might have heard about platforms like Remotion or HyperFrames. You might have even tested and you might have gotten maybe mixed up results. At least that's my experience. I watched a few tutorials, I played around with the tool, and I wasn't getting really good results in terms of the capabilities that some of these people were hyping up in terms of what it could actually do. But the reason why I finally decided to give this tool a shot was because I wanted to start posting short form content that wasn't so plain and it was just me talking, and I also didn't want to pay for an editor because I know it can be expensive depending on the amount of effects, length of your video, and a bunch of other factors. So I said, why not give HyperFrames a shot and see what it looks like. And so today I want to show you how I'm able to now edit my shorts with HyperFrames, and it actually makes them a little bit nicer without me having to do any heavy lifting in terms of, graphics and adding audio effects and things like that. So to show you an example, I have a video here that I just posted, and this is for my YouTube. So my YouTube shorts, it's usually my long forms clipped using a tool called Opus Clip, which is an AI tool that you can put in a long form video in as input, and it goes ahead and it extracts viral clips, and then you can auto schedule them into your different socials. That's usually what I do. So all these right here, they're all using Opus Clip, and some of them do pretty well. What I've noticed is that shorts tend to be a really good way for you to get more views on your long form videos. But I want to show you this short that I just posted.
Claude Code just released Workflows, a new command and mode where it writes its own script that runs dozens and even hundreds of sub-agents in the background. Here's why this matters. Normally, Claude runs few agents and crams every result back into one single chat, so it fills up the context really fast. A workflow is much different. Claude actually goes ahead and writes a script that holds the whole plan and then runs agent inside of it. Only the final answer comes back to you. So in this case, your chat stays clean, and it can coordinate way more agents than one conversation ever could. You don't write any of it, you just ask. Say, run a workflow that audit my route in my app, or missing auth, or let's say migrate this whole code base to a new library. And Claude goes ahead and writes the scripts and deploys the agents, and you just watch them work live. And when a run nails it, it saves that script.
So you get the idea. You get some of these effects and these graphics that pop up during the video that are actually pretty clean. And obviously I didn't get this on one shot. I had to iterate with the agent, which I'm going to show you guys right now what the agent does and how I've had it set up so that it works end to end with my content cadence. So these are the type of assets that I wanted to add to my video to make them look a little bit more professional, a little bit more thoughtful. And thankfully with HyperFrames, I'm able to do this. So how did I do this? I actually have an agent, and I'm going to share with you guys here. And so this is the conversation I was having, but we're going to look at the files in here so that I can explain to you guys a little bit how this works. So first of all, I have a bunch of different things in here. I have some guidelines, which this is a, like I said, end-to-end agent that helps me also script my videos. So I actually in here have like what the short form content process looks like in terms of scripting, recording, what is the first stage on getting a raw video into clean, which means basically editing the silences out and any mistakes. Though I'm gonna get into that here in a moment, but it's not very good, for which I think I'm gonna do that step manually using another tool. But then we have a little bit more information about the speed, more information about what B-rolls we're going to be having using HyperFrames. And so if you want to, if you don't know how to get HyperFrames, here's how you get it. It's very easy. It's pretty much just a library of different skills. And this is the site right here. So if you go into heygen.com/hyperframes, you're going to be able to download the whole skills just by running this command in your CLI or in your terminal. And what this is going to do is it's going to grab all of the skills and it's going to install them into that folder. And now your agent has all the skills necessary to make these kinds of videos and these kinds of animations. And so what does my workflow look like? I usually just get the original video, which looks something like this. As you see, it's 1 minute and 51 seconds.
Claude Code,
there's mistakes in there, here and there. So what I do is, what I wanted to do was get this first video or this first version of the video and give it to Claude so that it basically trims all the silences out, it trims all the mistakes out and all of that. But it wasn't very good. And I'm going to show you what I actually got. So I got this, and take note, this is not HyperFrame. This is just a cut editor that Claude created using HTML. And how it works is I would get the script here, and it would, based on the transcript, it would try to find different mistakes. It would use something like Whisper, and it would cross out the mistakes, but it was not very accurate. And so here I could even like select the part and it would cross it out and it would crop the video on. And here I have a place where I can visualize the video itself. Let me load this up a little bit. I can see how much time is being removed, and then I can export the cuts and all the information as a JSON. If I zoom out, I can see the cuts in here as well. I can turn them on and off. And here I have a little timeline. But like I said, this is not very good. And also it's very slow. So what I decided to do instead is use Tella, which if you guys don't know, Tella is a really good tool for video editing. It's usually what I use for these kind of videos. But in Tella, you can upload your video, and that's Tella. and I can edit them. And it's really cool because I can find cuts, I can find silences, I can find buffers, I can find filler words, and then I have this timeline of the video right here, which is really easy to manipulate. Like I can crop very easily in and out, and then I'll just rewatch it. I mean, it's a very short video. So I would just find those mistakes and I would manually remove them. I mean, I try to use the silences and the buffers because this tends to be really good. And then in terms of finding the mistakes, you can review them here similarly to what Claude tried building, but it's not very, very good. It's better than what Claude did, but I also, for a short video like this, I just do it myself. And so what I do is I cut this and then I download it and then I give that to Claude and then I say, go ahead and start HyperFrames. So I turn all of this into a skill, and let me see if I can find it here. So if I go in .Claude, this is the Claude desktop app, by the way. And if I go into skills, these are all the skills by HyperFrames, so this is what gets downloaded. But in here, I also have my daily short skill, which is this skill right here, and we take a look at it. It's very simple. So here's the loop. First, I get the script, then I hand it back the edited cut. Then we have a storyboard, which is where Claude reviews the video. It looks at the transcript and it thinks about different components, different assets that it can add on top of the video in order to make it a little bit more professional before it starts editing. It asks me for things like screenshots. Let's say there's a logo for Opus 4.8 that I want to include in the video. It asks me maybe a screenshot of my terminal using a specific command in Claude if that's what my video is talking about. So I will gather those screenshots and I will give it to them. And if they're too much or I can't find them, I just tell them just create a simple graphic or a simple animation for that. And so what happens then is the storyboard gets created before the HyperFrames build. So let me show you what that looks like. Once I have accepted the storyboard, I've given them different screenshots. Then if I go and I open my storyboard, this is what a storyboard looks like. So let me zoom in. So this is what happens. For example, in this video, it was the workflow short scene plan. So it comes up with a plan of what it needs to generate, what I need to give it, what it still needs, and some other audio information. So for example, here's the hook, the first 7 seconds. This is the animation that's going to be shown. Then for 07 to 017, the problem, this is the animation that's going to be shown. Then we have another animation here, the numbers animation, which is really cool. This is a screenshot that I provided, same as this one. This was generated by Claude, and then some other animations, which is really cool. And so what happens is with this is much better because now I can tell it to change anything if I don't like something, which I actually did. For example, here workflows was covering my face, so I have it move it up. But if I'm ready to go, I tell it go ahead and start up HyperFrames and actually generate the full video. And what happens is that HyperFrames in those skills has guidelines in order to start a version of it, of the editor, in your local host. So once I give it the green light, this is what it comes back with, which is the actual HyperFrames interface where I can see the video. So I can actually watch the video here. Looks like this is just playing the different animations, but you get the idea. There we go. It's a little bit laggy. It's not the best because it's running locally. So this is not like a website that you go to. It actually spins up the whole interface locally.
Workflows, a new command and mode where it writes its own script that runs dozens
and I can move things around here. For example, I could grab this and I can move it up and down. We get this panel here on the right where I can edit the design, like what the text is saying, some colors, etc., etc. But the cool thing is I'm able to see everything I want in one place. So I can see the audio, which is like my actual voice, and I can manipulate that here. For example, the volume, the speed, etc. Same thing with all the effects. This channel or this track right here is just all the effect, like the sound effects. So for example,
so in this case, your chat stays clean and it can coordinate way more.
You can hear that. Initially, they were really loud, so all I had to do was just select each one of these and turn the volume down. See, it was like a 50%, I brought it down to 8. Most of them are around the same. And this just makes it a little bit easier, so I don't have to tell Claude, hey, the sounds and the sound effects are too loud, bring it down. Because that would take too long, and let me tell you, this is a very slow process. It probably took like 10 minutes for it to actually generate the final video. But that's why I go ahead and I create the frames or the scenes first, so I'm not waiting over and over 10 minutes for every single change. And then I just manipulate anything that I want to do here. Now, once I like this and I've made the changes, so then what I do is I go back to my agent here, and this was something actually that I was working on. And let me see if I can find the information here. So it was decent, but the quality of the original video drops a lot. How can we preserve it? So what happens is now that now that HyperFrames has generated the video, I tell it, I like the video, can you please download it and put it in a folder? So for every single short, Claude creates this folder right here. In this case, it was workflow short, in which I put in the assets, I put in different screenshots, I put in the videos themselves, and then once it generates the final video, I wanted to put it in here. The problem is that the quality went down by a lot. So there's ways to manipulate that. Like over here, it was telling me that it's going to preserve it the next time. So if I go here in the skill, back to the skill, so we get the storyboard, we have HyperFrames build it adds SFX. As you see, it says quiet because they were loud. And the step 6 is actually rendering and delivering the video. So it says that the delivered file must match the quality Josue gave me. So I gave it a video which was in, I think, 2K, and it gave me something like in 180 with 30 frames per second, I think, which was very low. And so that's something that I didn't like. But this is the skill. Very simple skill. And so I thought I'd make this video because a lot of people, they want to post content, but they're not using all the tools that they need before they go ahead and hire a video editor, because it is expensive. It is very expensive if you want really good graphics. So I wanted to make this video for anyone who wanted to start posting more content, short form content. You know, you can have something end-to-end like me, which actually does research based on other creators and based on just news sites about AI, and it creates scripts based on what it thinks it can go viral. I review those scripts. If I like a script, I quickly learn it. I record the video. I give it to my HyperFrames agent. It edits the video, gives it back to me, and then I can post it directly into YouTube Shorts, Reels, or TikTok. Once I have the final video, obviously it doesn't come with caption. I haven't yet tried generating the captions using HyperFrames, although 100% you can do it. If you can get the transcript, you can for sure generate the captions. But for the captions, if we look at the final video,
Claude Code just released.
I have these captions down here. These are actually being made using the Instagram Edits app, which is free, by the way. And I also which I also found in the Edits app. And so what I do is it puts it back in the folder. So I get the final video here as an MP4. And all I do is I airdrop this to my phone. I put in the captions, I open YouTube, TikTok, write the captions, and I send it. So now if you want to have something like this for yourself, I'm going to be putting this skill in the school community alongside with all the resources in how to install HyperFrames and all the skills, everything you need. I'm going to be putting it, like I said, in the school community, and it's completely for free. If you don't know yet, I run a school community in which I post all the content and all the guides that are shared here in my YouTube channel, as well as some important news. I host some webinars every now and then on AI topics, which are also completely free. So if you want to join, I'll be leaving a link down below so that you can join. And all you have to do is go to the classroom, and here you're going to find all those guides, all those resources, which usually are going to be a Notion in which it guides you step by step on that specific topic. If I make a video on it, then you're going to see the video in here. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it helpful. I really encourage you to go ahead and try HyperFrames. I think it's kind of mind-blowing what it can do. Even though it's very slow, I think these things are going to evolve pretty fast. And by the end of the year, we might have something that's way, way better than HyperFrames. So I'm very excited for that. Again, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you want more AI content, and I'll see you on the next one.